peeps! This is my favorite video to do in this little ongoing forever now series of my favorite decks for the seasons. As I move into September, October, and November, I always feel just over the top inspired, excited, alive. There's something about the summer as it moves into autumn and then the season of autumn that just really speaks to my heart, and I always feel just reinvigorated on my spiritual path and also in the various projects that I'm working on. And as a healer, I feel super inspired and invigorated. If you are in the New England area and you're interested in attending any new moon or full moon gatherings, my teacher Stacy Gibbons and I will be hosting some new and full moon gatherings over the next few months, and we are very excited about that. So if you want more information on that, you can email me, and I will put the website link below, and you can email me straight from there. Okay, so I've got that going on. I'm doing a lot of traveling in the month of September for healing work, working with clients, and lots of readings and things like that. So I'm like super jazzed and just in that really yummy witchy place. So I'm going to talk a little bit first, like about what I'm reading, what I'm coloring for my hobby time, and things like that. And then I'll dive into the decks, and have a lot of decks because it's this time of year. I'm feeling really inspired. I want to be doing lots of, connecting work with my decks. So this is going to be a long video. As far as reading, some of you may remember that hold on. I've got another book here too. I was introduced to Haruki Murakami at the end of 2017. And I went on like a serious journey where I read almost all of his books. I still have a couple left on my list to finish, which are on my list for this fall. But I kind of needed to step back and take a break from him for a little while. But I find myself now, because I'm getting more into photography as I'm working on my deck, and I find myself exploring in the photographs that I'm taking some of the themes that show up in his books. And so I am rereading Men Without Women, his collection of short stories, and looking at kind of through my lens as I watch my son, the ways in which the masculine has been cut off from its emotional feeling self, and exploring how do we open that up? And as mothers, how do we open that up for our sons? How do we encourage dialogue and explore means of authentic emotional expression for our sons outside of just anger? And I think Murakami's works really explore the cut off that many men feel in their hearts, the block that many men experience in their hearts. So Murakami's Men Without Women is on my reading list this month, and I highly recommend it if you want something that's going to like pull you in, make you question everything, take lots of notes, and like go on a journey. Murakami's works are great for that. Sorry guys, allergies. The other thing I'm reading right now, recommended to me by a client, is Jump Girl, The Inspiration Art of a Spirit Speaker, a memoir by Sally Crow, who's a psychic medium. This is the only kind of psychic medium memoir I've come across so far that seems most closely aligned to the way that I receive messages and how I walk through my life. So I've really been enjoying this and felt like quite a kinship to the author as I read her works. Very good book, and I'm enjoying reading that one. But specifically Murakami and Henry Rollins' works will be big on my list in September. And hold on one second. I'm also trying to think if there was somebody else. There are a few other books I intend to dive into, but I can't think of them off the top of my head right now. But Murakami is like a really big front and center for me this September moving into fall. Okay, so for my coloring book peeps, I just got a couple things in that I want to focus on. Actually, I've had Mythographic for a while, but I am looking forward to actually getting some coloring done in Mythographic. So for those of you who don't know, coloring is my means of like personal artistic expression, it's also a big stress and anxiety reducer for me. And so for my peeps who also color, I now include this in my little, you know, witchy chat part of this. So look at this guy. So this is like he's a doodle artist similar to Kirby Rosanes, not quite the same, but similar. And Vincent and I have some intentions of doing some coloring together in this. We'll see how he feels about that. The two things that I'm really looking forward to coloring in the month of September are the Sorcerers and Sorceresses special from Coloring Heaven. They're like witchy themed, and they actually have more men than typically we see in coloring books. Usually it's mostly female focused. We've got some dudes showing up here, which is kind of fun. So kind of a nice like witchy type of coloring book. There's one specifically that I'm really looking forward to coloring. Let's see if I can find her. So many of you know that I tend to like coloring people, and I try to get as close to realistic as I possibly can. It's a real passion of mine. So this one I'm excited about. I don't love every image in here, but they're the ones that I do like. I really am looking forward to coloring. This one reminds me a little bit of Carnunos, but it's got all that occult symbolism in it, and so I'm looking forward to doing that one. There's one other one in here. I just can't find her. It's not that one. This is going to be a long video, guys, so that'll be fun for everyone. This one. It's actually a male, not a female. That one I'm really looking forward to coloring in. And World of Princesses special, also from Coloring Heaven. They're overseas in England. So when I order, I typically order one or two, but they always have free shipping. They're like amazing. And you can actually color the outside of the coloring book too. I wish I was on that side of the pond so that I could actually order a subscription. And I said prescription, that was fun. But these are the princesses. Aren't they super pretty? So cute. And there's one, I love that one. There is one, let me find her. I won't drag you through this entire book for those of you who are not into coloring at all. I have to find her. That I am really, really excited to color, but I want to do the best job ever on this one. So this is the ancient Egyptian princess, but you can see that she is totally taken and inspired from Elizabeth Taylor as Cleopatra in the 1963 film. So yeah, I can't wait to color this one, but I want to make sure she's perfect. So the World of Princesses special, I'm super excited to color in. And I forgot to grab a Gajili, or however you say that. One of my coloring people that I follow on Instagram is doing a kind of a, whatever it's called, like a challenge for the month of September to color one page in there that you have to start in September and finish by the end of September. I am in love with that coloring book. All of you who watch my coloring book video, that was the one that I got the most chit chat about and messages. It's an insanely beautiful coloring book, and I don't want to F it up because it was so pricey getting it sent here, but it was absolutely worth it, and it's gorgeous. So that is one of my goals and intentions for myself in September, is to color an entire page in that. And I might share a little bit of that process, most certainly on Instagram, if not a little bit on YouTube for my coloring peeps. But okay, coloring portion of the video done. Music-wise, Joy Division is huge for me, always in the month of September, because it's just that time of year. And it's Joy Division. They're amazing. Why wouldn't we be listening to them? So Joy Division, Typo Negative. I love Rollins Band, and I actually love the Come In and Burn sessions. So I've got those albums queued up to listen to on the car for some of my commutes in the month of September. And let's see, what else? I've actually been listening to Scarlet's Walk by Tori Amos a lot, and I really haven't listened to her a great deal. lately, but that album has been creeping up on my playlist more and more. And then, of course, Lana Del Rey is releasing Norman fucking Rockwell, and I am super excited for that. And that is coming out on the 30th in a couple days of August, and so that will be on my, I am sure, repeat offender list for album listening while making pancakes on the weekend mornings. So let's get into the decks. I think you will sense a definite theme here. I tend to get more into the Fae energy in the month of September and more into my darker decks, as we all like to say, darker decks, which is pretty much, my favorite style deck to work with. So I'm going to just say this, but I'm not going to show my Tarot of Vampires deck because it's always on the list. It's a constant for me, and you guys know that. So I'm not going to show her, but she is on the list, of course. So Tarot of Vampires, and then the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud. So this deck is the closest representation of all this and the Heart of Fairies Oracle to the way that I experience the Fae and the various kind of classes and clans of the Fae. And always around this time of the year, I connect with this one because it's very much, the underworld. It's encouraging you, not encouraging you, but it assists you in connecting with the Fae if you wish to, but also understanding all the aspects of a cycle or the wheel, and understanding, there are energies that you do choose to connect with and that you don't choose to connect with. And I'm one of those people who do feel the veil gets very thin as we move from September into October and then into November. And I love this image. This type of deck, in my opinion, it's very supportive of that cycle in the wheel, and it really helps me to feel connected to the Fae energy that I do wish to work with, but also Fae as a whole, so that I can be aware and pay attention to maybe energies that I don't want to bring in. Also, the guidebook is amazing. I think we can all very much agree on that. So this is the Fairies Oracle specifically, not the Heart of Fairies, even though I love that one, but she's not my list right now. I typically work with her in the spring anyhow. This is the Fairies Oracle. Then I have the Ludi Lesket Tarot. I don't know. I always come back to this. I put her in order for a video I did recently that hasn't uploaded yet, so you can see her in order. I don't know. I love this deck. I love her more as years go by. I don't use the Ludi Lesket constantly, and it's mainly because I hate how slippery older Scarabeo decks especially are, and the cards tend to wobble and slide all over the place when you're trying to read with them. And so when you're trying to go and read for clients and you've packed this, sometimes it can be really stressful. So yeah, so Ludi Lesket I don't use all the time, but I do use her around this time of year, and she's just wonderfully like New Orleans, noir, just like delicious southern swamp, like mystical, like Stevie Nicks Goes Goth type of deck. Like that's what I feel with this deck. And yeah, you guys, some of you know who've been here from the beginning that I use this deck and have over the years. So that is the Ludi Lesket Tarot. And primarily it's for that feeling. That's why I'm working with her. And I'm going to do a part of the Working With series. I will include the Ludi Lesket Tarot. I also love this backing. So that if you struggle with her and you have her, we can talk about some ways to reconnect with her as a deck. Hold, please. In case none of you noticed, I have already decided it's fall, which means it's basically Halloween and Samhain already, just so we all know. This one I haven't talked about a whole lot or a great deal. Excuse me, can't find my words today. And that's because I purchased it because it's an Alana Fairchild deck, and then I really didn't feel very connected with it. I mean, I shouldn't say it like that. I felt like it was a good deck, and it had good bones. But I didn't get super involved in working with her. I just couldn't quite like click with her or like hook into her energy. And so this month I have her on the list because my intention is either to fully connect with her or to allow her to move on. It's Alana Fairchild though, so I really don't like to gift my Alana Fairchilds anymore because then I always end up repurchasing them like 2 years from now and I really feel the energy of that deck again because in my opinion she does make wonderful decks. So this is now I have the box back here so I can reference it, the Earth Warriors Oracle. And this, like the Sacred Rebels when I have used her, has been very much a like soul pull for the soul. You know, we're looking at big picture stuff when we're working with this deck, like your soul purpose for being here and what that means for you, that type of thing. The cardstock is lovely, exact opposite of Ludi Lesca. Like I want to touch this deck and hold this deck. It's that beautiful like matte kind of velvety feel on the skin. So I really want to dedicate some time to working with her, and that means she'll have her own journal and I will spend time kind of getting to know her, and I really recommend that for Alana's decks. You know, create your own journal for them and allow it to be something that really builds, because they are decks that are really meant for personal spiritual journey work. And the more you can devote time and attention to them, you know, it just gets sweeter. It just sweetens the deal. So I will stop there with Totemic Puma. So definitely South American tribal feel to it. And I've studied. I have a lineage, a healing lineage in that energy. And so I definitely want to connect with this. And I'm really trying. So we're going to try in the month of September. And I might document some of that experience with you all, include her in the Working With series, and then let you all know. And if I do decide to gift her, maybe I'll do something on the channel so whoever gets her is the right person. But this is, again, the Earth Warriors Oracle. I have to put my little stack over here. Okay, so I took a break from working with the Mystical Shaman deck for the most part for the months of July and August. Maybe even some of June, actually. And I was saying for my Patreon peeps who support the channel, they get a monthly Outlook video reading every month as a thank you. And I was saying to them that when I picked this up a couple days ago and worked with her again, I literally started crying. It's one of those decks that, just like the Isis Oracle and Tarot of Vampires for me, I just feel so deeply connected to. And reconnecting with her again was like the most beautiful feeling. It was so just epically powerful and special. And it was like coming home, and I was like, why did I ever leave you? And yet I know that the time away also allowed us to come back in this way. So it was a really intense, beautiful, emotional experience. But the Mystical Shaman Oracle only gets better with time, in my opinion. I love this deck so much, guys. I really do. And I may include her in the Working With series, because I know some of you have said, oh my gosh, I love the artwork, but I am having a hard time connecting with her. We'll be happy to do a video on that, because this is a deck that does require a certain level of devotion and showing up. But if you're willing to put that in, it is 1000% worth the investment of time and energy. So I cannot wait to like journal with her, take her with me to the ocean, take her with me out in the woods, you know, draw cards by candlelight with her. We're like it's like we've been together for a few years and we're like having our Renaissance moment of like remembering when we first started dating. So that's how I'm feeling about her, and I'm super excited. Sorry that I use reversals in this deck. Super excited to work with her in the month of September. And if you purchase a reading in September, you're probably going to get her as a clarifier deck, because I'm really feeling called to work with her. Okay, the Messenger Oracle by Sandra Kuntz. I haven't worked with this one in a little while. Just like the Mystical Shaman Oracle, I'm super excited to reconnect with her. And this one I want to use primarily for self-worth and self-love work. So just getting back in touch with taking care of myself, feeding myself in all ways, and just being loving and gentle with myself. And this deck was really, really beautifully supportive of that. It's such a treasure. And I'm going to stop on my favorite image in the deck, and you guys will know why. Love, 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 love this card. So this deck is just so beautiful. I did a series on with this deck a couple years ago. Actually, it's probably more like 4 years ago now, believe it or not. So if you're interested in that, you can click back to the channel and find it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful deck. Okay. Isis Oracle, baby. I've taken a break from her too, for the most part. But, oh my goodness, it is like, again, I pulled her out last week and used her with a client, and I was like, oh my God, I've missed you so much. You're so wonderful. 1 second, guys. There is, like, when you just, it's those feelings. It's like those 3 decks for me. I feel it so much when I work with them, and it's so just, you get so jazzed when you feel how strong the connection is. The other thing is that this guidebook is really intended for you to work ritual and to do your own spiritual journey work with. Use it for those things, guys. Like, use it to the full. If you take the time out to do that, let's even say you pull 1 card a week and you do the little ritual that's included at the end, or something close to that ritual that feels authentic for you. You will get so much out of this deck, and you will understand why this deck is so special. And I feel like Alana and Jimmy just captured Isis perfectly. That's why I'm very excited to see what's going to come out from for the Kali deck that she's creating. Because when she gets it right, she gets it so right. And this is how I experience Isis. And it's not only a gorgeous deck, it has such great bones. And it's just a joy. It's just a joy. It's a joy. And I may include this in the Working With series, because sometimes reading with this deck, it's very different than doing a daily draw or spiritual work with. So I may include that in the series. Basically, the series may have every single deck in my collection in it by the end of it, which is extensive, which means that it will go on for years. But the Isis Oracle, just like the Earth Warriors Oracle, is going to be focused on my personal spiritual work for the month of September. Okay, and then, guys, why can I never remember the name of this tarot deck? Somebody help me. It's Barbara Moore and Julia Jeffries. Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, something Hidden Realms, Journey of the Hidden Realms. Colette has one that has a similar title, but they're very different feel. This tarot deck, which I will try to remember to put, oh wait, I have the guidebook on the shelf. Journey into the Hidden Realms Tarot. There we go. This tarot deck is the tarot deck I found that comes closest to experiencing the Fae and how I experience them. And so for the months of September, this is the deck that I'll be working with. As you guys know, I had gifted my matte original copy to someone when I moved, one of my many moves a couple years ago. And so now I have this newer, like, it has that slick, shiny cardstock that I strongly dislike. I miss the matte one, but yeah. So this deck reads beautifully for others. It's one of those very vocal, gentle, non-judgmental, but unbiased yet very clear decks that is truly a joy to read for others with. And so I will be using this a lot in client readings in the month of September. And again, I'm beyond thrilled to work with her in that way. And the artwork is just beautiful, and it really does capture the energy of working with the Fae. This image reminds me of Karuna so much. Just absolutely beautiful. So that deck I will be using for client readings as well in the month of September. So just like the Mystical Shaman Oracle, this one will be one that gets used a great deal. Okay, and now the Marielle Tarot. I just have to This is a perennial favorite of mine. I will always love the Marielle Tarot. Working with it is just, there's nothing like it. She has her own energy and nothing else like it. Just nothing else like it. That's all I can say. It's so freaking unique, and just like you feel when you work with this deck that you're accessing a lot of occult symbolism, yes. Also a lot of biblical symbolism with this deck, but also that you're connecting with Mary's energy, with her brilliance as an artist, and how serious she took this deck. You just feel the intention behind that. And it's such a great deck for in-depth personal work, for questioning of the self. And it also, just like Tarot of Vampires, reads so well with others too, at least for me. And so this baby will be in full use in readings and for my personal daily polls in the month of September. I have such a stack over here, guys. Okay, 2 more. We're almost there. The Night Sun Tarot. Yes. You guys know, I don't know why, but I love Fabio Listrani. And if I'm saying his name wrong, I apologize. I cannot wait for his new tarot deck. I cannot wait. But anyhow, Night Sun Tarot is perfectly dark and moody and occult, yummy deliciousness for September, in my mind. And so she will be used to the full in the month of September for personal work, but also for readings. This deck is such a no bullshit cut to the chase deck in readings. It is hysterical to me how freaking clear this deck is. It is just, I don't know how else to say it, guys. I don't know how else to say it. So the Night Sun Tarot has made the list. I've been using it all summer, and I think it made my last video too. So it's just kind of carrying over really beautifully. Now, just like the Earth Warriors Oracle, my Dreams of Gaia Tarot is also on the list here for me to connect with her more. I want to feel more of a connection with her right now. I had the original, which was just a straight up black backing, and I really wish I hadn't gifted that one when I, again, moved, because I don't like this backing at all. But I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. Like, my thing about putting it on the altar is that I look at it and I'm like, I miss the other backing, but I will let that go. Beautiful gilding on the side of the cards there. I would like to connect with her in a new way, because the way that we have been connecting is not negative. I just would like to feel an even deeper sense of connection to her as I do with Raven's Messenger Oracle, different from Sandra Kuhn's Messenger Oracle, by the way, guys. If you don't know that, I just want to clarify that for you. I feel such a connection to the images in that Messenger Oracle, and it reads for me so well. And I don't want the same relationship with this deck, but I want something that feels as deep. And so my intention in the month of September in my personal work will be devoted to teasing out more of they. I feel like it's a they deck of their energy, and allowing myself to feel elementally just really, really connected with this deck. It is not traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. So I really do want to encourage you, if you get this deck, to spend time with the guidebook so that you understand the meanings. But I'm someone who's a big fan of Raven's artwork, and it just feels so druidic and pagan to me. And I just hunker right down into that aspect of myself when I see her artwork. So this is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, and this one I will be working with for any and all, personal work in September, but really to connect with her at a deeper level. So, and I just want to say something really quick about that. Actually, I'm going to show you guys one more because it's on my list, but it's still in her. She's still in her box. So I just need to pull her out. So, and I actually have posted, I'm going to upload, I did a reveal of this because a client/student of mine purchased this for me. And so that will actually probably upload to the channel before this video. But this is the Haunted House Tarot, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So what I wanted to say is when we are going to devote time to getting to know a deck, what I have found most helpful for me as a single mom, and I work full time, I have found, you know, some weeks I work over full time because I'm self-employed. So, you know, sometimes you just got to hit it while it's hot. But I have to actually schedule in that time that I'm going to sit with my decks and work with them. And I do value that very much as a reader. I feel it's important because those are the sacred tool that I connect with quite a bit of the time for my clients. Not all the time, but most of the time. So I have found very helpful to actually schedule in that time, like scheduling in a date with Dreams of Gaia Tarot or scheduling in a date with the Earth Warriors Oracle, where I'll just at least have 20, 30 minutes to pull a card and sit with it and suss out what we're coming together to explore and how we will work with others. So if you're someone who's like, you always set that intention for yourself and yet you don't follow through, try scheduling it in, because I found that that really helps me to make sure that I devote that time to my craft and also to the decks themselves. So I just wanted to share that with you. This is the Haunted House Tarot. Now, in the reveal, I opened it up with you guys, so I had not looked at the guidebook, which is a very small, it's a Scarabeo, so you guys know the typical size. I don't know where I just put the box. And I was like, wow, this like really feels like romancy novel in certain points, and it's because it was inspired by that and also this haunted house aesthetic, like these old romance novel covers and things like that. So I'm intrigued by this deck, and so I will be getting to know this deck in the month of September. I love the fact that there's no borders. I adore some of the images. Some of them I really don't like, and you see that in the reveal. You guys know I'm pretty upfront with you all. So this one is also on my, hey, getting to know you list for September. You know, I like to do things in 3s, not 2s, so you can tell this is still in order. We're working through the Suit of Swords, so let me just get back to the majors. So we can get, oh, these are still cups. Let's see, get just some majors in here. Look at that death card, huh? I love that. And there's the Hanged Man. So yeah, this is the Haunted House Tarot, and I'm very intrigued to see how she reads. And I will be doing like a getting to know you type of spread with her. And as you guys know, I don't use spreads a lot, but I'm either going to really love working with her or it's not going to quite work. So, and I'm like super jazzed to discover how that's going to go. So to my client who gifted me this deck, thank you very much. You know who you are, and I'm deeply appreciative of that. So that's my list for September. I'm feeling energetic, and so I've got quite a plethora of decks to work with, as you can see. It's definitely just a month of empowerment and excitement and just joy in the journey. So yeah, those are my decks for September into October. As you guys know, I will do another one as we officially enter into fall, and that will be, as always, extremely, you know, typically like shadow based. And really lots of darker themed decks come out for that. But this is like my very creative, fertile, excited, ambitious energy. And I really feel that in the month of September. So I am, as always, sending you guys much love. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, thank you for being so patient with how long this video is. I am looking forward to seeing you all in the next video. And much love and many blessings, guys. Take care.